Welcome to you all in this different kind of a video where I will list the common mistakes students make during exams and how to avoid them. I have also made a video quite a while ago on common mistakes by students in exams, not specific to Pure Math 1. So please watch the video till the end and try not to make any mistake in exams and get very good grades. Let's get started. Here is an example from functions where they have given fx and gx and asking the range of g of x. So what makes this question special? That the fx is inside g. The output of fx is used as input of gx. What means is that the range of fx is the domain of gx. So gx is a linear function, but because the limit in range of the fx will limit the range of gx, both domain and range. So a linear graph has a domain as x an element of real numbers and range as y as also an element of real numbers. But in this case, because the domain has changed, the range will also change. So these two will not be the range anymore. So what will be the steps? I'm explaining the steps first and then I will do it for you. We will first find the range of fx, which because it's a quadratic, it will be a limited range. Then we will substitute that fx into gx as a replacement of this x. We'll get a new quadratic function, not a linear. Gx is a linear, it will become a quadratic now. Then we will find the range of that new gfx, but because fx has limited the domain, we will make changes to our range. So the range of gfx will be different from the normal one. Let me do this now. This is the vertex form of the given function, and now the vertex is the opposite of this minus 2, which is positive 2, and 1 as 1. This is the vertex. That means the range of fx will be fx is greater than equal to 1 because it's a positive coefficient, leading coefficient is positive, we'll get a minimum. It's a minimum, okay? So now we will carry out the conversion of g of x. So the vertex of this new g of x is minus 2, 2. Our range for the first one was fx is greater than 1, which became the domain for g of x. So domain for g of x will be x is greater than equal to 1. But look here, what we got here, minus 2 as the x where the vertex is there. That means the graph of g of x is something like this. Minus 2 will be somewhere here. I'm not, and 2 is above there. So this is the vertex, minus 2, 2. However, our domain was x is greater than 1. That means this, if this is 1 here, our graph will be only from this point onwards. This part is gone because it is less than, x is less than 1 in this case. So our range will start from here. See, in the original case, range would be greater than 2 because the graph is above 2, right? But now we'll find a new range with the help of this one. We'll substitute 1 into g of x, which is this one. Let me substitute 1, 3, 1 plus 2 square plus 2. So this is 3 square is 9 times 3 is 27 plus 2 is 29. So originally the range was greater than 2, but now GFX will be greater than and equal to 29. This is the new range of this. So summary is number 2. In circular measures, find the perimeter of the area of the shaded region. So if we want to find the area of this, we will find the area of this semicircle. If you see, it's a semicircle. And then we will subtract the area of this segment. So, mistake what people make is think that this is the semicircle and this A is the center of this semicircle also, right? And or they will take D as the center of this arc, right? Because they look similar. If you are not careful, you can take the wrong center for this. So, what in this case, what you should do, that this is the semicircle and D is the center of this semicircle, you will find the area of the semicircle. Then you have to subtract the area of this segment. There is no formula for segment. So you have to do what? You have to find the area of the sector. Let me write here, area of the sector BAC. This sector you can say, or BCA. Subtract the area of the triangle. This BCA again, this triangle BCA. So if from this sector you subtract the area of the triangle, you will get the area of this segment. But you have not found your shaded area yet. So what will you do? Whatever you get from here, which is the area of the segment, you subtract that from the semicircle area, right? The area of semicircle for which D is the center, not A. This kind of confusion should be removed, and there should not be any confusion while answering a question in exams. And here is the summary of the activity. First and second I talked, but number 3, use radians in angles to avoid any confusion. Never use degrees in circular measure. Okay? Whenever there is sine, cos kind of ratios are involved, there's no problem in using degrees, but it will affect the other formula or calculations. So never use degrees in circular measure. Another mistake made by students is that when you come across a situation where you have to evaluate sine inverse x equal to 0, so you use your calculators and your calculator will give you x equal to 0, only one answer, whereas your domain is from 0 to 360 degrees. So in such case, you should always use your knowledge of the graph of sine. Sine graph is like this, right? From 0 to 360 degrees, the maximum value is 1, the minimum value is -1. So we can see here that this particular graph is at 0, 1, 2 and 3 points. At 3 places it is at 0. So the answer from 0 to 360 degrees, 180 degrees where it is 0. But if there is an equal sign also in both of them, so we will write 3 answers because it is at 0, 180 and 360 degrees. So there will be 2 answers, x equal to 0, 180 and 360, and this is mostly the case where they have equal sign with zeros and 360 degrees. Please use your calculators in such case, not only 0. If there is, so let me use cos this time, cos inverse -1. So for that we should draw the cos graph. So cos also starts from 1 and it's between -1 and 1. And the graph is something like this, and this is 360 degrees. So -1 is at this point, which is pi or 180 degrees, right? But if you use your calculator, it will give you this one, which is -180 degrees at this point. So it's not necessary that your calculator will give you the answer you want or in the domain you want. So always remember these two graphs to evaluate sine or cos inverse 0, like this, cos or sine inverse -1, or sine or cos inverse 1. These 3 cases, always use the graph of sine and cosine for 0, 1 and minus 1. That is the summary. Sometimes we come across this situation where we have to evaluate the reciprocal trigonometric ratios. Suppose here secant x is 2 over 3. So what usually the students do, they write x equal to secant inverse 2 over 3, and since there is no secant in our calculators, they write 1 x equal to 1 over cos, because secant is reciprocal of cos, they reciprocate the angle. Please keep in mind, even if it has a secant in it, it is an angle, it is not a ratio. This whole thing is an angle. You cannot reciprocate the angle. So what should you do instead? That your original equation is secant x equal to 2 over 3, reciprocate here. So the reciprocal of secant x is cos x. Done. You have reciprocated this. So you have to reciprocate here also, 3 over 2. And your answer will be x equal to cos inverse 3 over 2. Actually, it is not possible to find this because it is more than 1 and cos is always between 1 and minus 1. So that's why there is no solution, but the process remains same. You reciprocate this, you reciprocate this, the ratios, not the angles. So the summary is reciprocate secant, cosecant, and cot, which are reciprocal ratios, at the phase when they are an equation in terms of secant, cosecant, and cot only, not the inverse phase where they are converted to angles. Sometimes you come across such a situation where you have two factors of a polynomial and it is part of an inequality which is less than 0 or greater than 0. So if this was an equation 2x minus 1 x plus 2 equal to 0, people would say that okay, this gives us answer x equal to half and this gives us x equal to minus 2, right? Same some of the students replicate here. So they say x is less than half and x is less than minus 2 and that's it, job is done, you got the answer. No, this is a very big mistake people make. You should always either draw the graph or evaluate it. What I mean is this. There is a positive leading coefficient. 2x times x is 2x squared positive. So the graph will be opening up. Okay? And the 2 points where this graph has x-intercepts are half and minus 2. They are the roots of this inequality. So if this is minus half is positive here, minus 2 is here. And since the graph is opening up, the graph will look like this. And now we want the y value. This is the function. The function has to have a y value less than 0, which is negative. And negative is y value is from here to here. So your answer should be that x is between between minus 2 and half. This should be a solution, not like this or this. Second option is that you can draw a number line, put minus 2 and half here, and choose some numbers, random numbers between these ranges. Whichever range gives you negative number less than 0 is your answer. And definitely in this case, minus 2 and half, the number between them will give you a negative number. Let me choose 0. This is negative, this is positive. So let's choose 0 and put it here. So 2 times 0 minus 1, 0 plus 2. Let's see. So it will be 0 minus 1 times plus 2, which is negative 2. See, we got negative number. So the summary is that the roots are not solution. They are just the x-intercept of the graph. You better draw a graph or take random numbers on number line to justify your solutions. Your solution will always be a range of numbers. Sometimes you are asked to integrate something like this, and the students who have learned that the integration of a reciprocal function is natural log, they will write, okay, natural log of square root 4x plus 3, and divide by 4, something like this, plus c. This is not for a square root. Okay, natural log cannot be used for a square root of a reciprocal function. So what you should do instead, that integration, convert this to 4x plus 3 to the power minus half and dx. This is what it will be converted to, and now you can integrate like a normal function. You can use substitution also, or straight away it will be like this: 4x plus 3 to the power minus half plus 1 over minus half plus 1 plus c, and it will further be divided by what is the content of the bracket, which is 4. So we'll divide it by 4, which is multiplied by 1 4. This is how you will integrate this, not by natural log. Natural log is only for the reciprocal of a linear denominator, that kind of situation. So the summary here is that natural log is only for the cases where the denominator is a linear, complete linear part, not square root, not square, nothing else. Okay. Second, the method I just showed you, this one, is only if a linear expression has some power. Okay. If it was 4x square plus 3 to the power minus half, then even this method wouldn't work. Okay. So it is only for something linear and its power. This mistake is actually a casual mistake where people mistake normal to a tangent, or they forget that the normal is different from tangent. So the equation for a tangent is this: y minus y1 equal to mx minus x1, because it's a line. So equation of a normal will be y minus y1 minus same equal to same m, but it's negative reciprocal x minus x1. So if you have to find m is dy over dx, just reciprocate what you get to get the equation of normal. So while under pressure of exam or carelessness, this mistake happens a lot many times, where people do not convert the gradient they got to the gradient of a normal. This you have to take care. There is no summary of this because this is very normal mistake. Next mistake could be based on this kind of question where they ask you to find the dy over dx, and then hence from the hint from that differentiation you have to integrate. So whenever you have such a situation, let me first differentiate this, and then I will let you what to know. So I reach this situation, and if you look at the b part, it is x square minus 2, and here we have 2x square minus 4. So we have to convert it to the way they want. So I'll take 2 common from this, and this will be our differentiation. But so the mistake people make is, because this is 2 here, they will write the answer as the previous, the original question, which was x square minus 4, and write 2 in front of it. 2x square minus 4 plus c. This is the answer. It is not like this, which is incorrect. Let me write the question again. X square minus 2 square root x square minus 4. This is your question. X square minus 2 over square root x square minus 4. There is no 2 in it. But if you want to write answer as this one, it must have a 2. But our question should also not change. So in that case, what should we do? Put a 2 here, no problem. But compensate here by multiplying by half, so that half times 2 is 1. So you have changed your question, right, to this, the one we want, but you have not overall, you have not changed it. So this half remains half, and we know that the integration of this, which was the answer in the first part, is x square minus 4 plus c. So do not make this mistake of transferring the number here to the answer. Next one. Find the volume of a shape by rotating the graph about x-axis by 360 degrees. This is a very common kind of question, and I have given a kind of question which is not part of pure math 1, but I gave it knowingly that there is no difficulty in any kind of question as long as you know that the volume is always pi y square dx. That's it. Simple, straightforward. Whatever y they have given, just square it inside and then integrate. So in this case, the volume will be, they're saying, from 0.5 to 1. So we write 0.5 and 1 here, pi outside, and we square 3 sine 0.5x square dx. That's it. And if you know how to integrate this, you can easily find this. I'm not going to do this because it is not part of the pure math 1, but what I want to tell you that it will be that easy. 3 square is 9, so I've written it outside, and it will be sine square 0.5x dx. If you know the process of integrating this, which will definitely be there, do not get scared by the look of the question or how can I find the volume and all that. This is the simplest, straightforward formula for finding volume, because most of the students leave such kind of questions and they focus on some other questions. They lose 7 to 8 marks in such kind of questions. Please do not leave it. So there is no summary for this. Just memorize this formula, which will give you the volume. This is one of the past question of pure math 1, where the sum Sn is given as this, and they're asking us to find the first term and the common difference. No number has been given, and people get frustrated. How is this possible? They have not given anything. Actually, they have given everything in the question itself. Why? So if I say S1, what does that mean? That means the sum of first one terms, and the sum of first one term is actually the first term itself. Right? So just put 1 into this and you get the first term. They're saying the first term, find the first term. And that will be 32 times 1 minus 1 squared. So 32 minus 1, 31 is the first term. Within 10 seconds you get the first answer. Now, what will be S2? S2 will be the sum of the first two terms, A1 and A2. A1 is known to us now, right? So S2, we will use the formula here, 32 times 2 minus 2 square will be the first term, which is say 31, we have got it, plus second term we don't know, right? But we can find it now because we know everything else. So 64 minus 4 is 60, equal to 31 plus A2. So A2 becomes 60 minus 31, which is 29. So the first term is 31, second term is 29. Can't I get common difference? Common difference is always A2 minus A1, the second term minus the first term, which is 29 minus 31 equal to minus 2. Done.